We're in our new place, and the guy said he had a gun on top of this cabinet, and I thought he was going to take it with him when he left, and it's still here. So we're going to take it down and take a look at it and see what's going on.
This is the gun that he's talking about. Is there no other gun up there?
No, this was it.
This is the gun. Army vodka. That's so funny. Still getting everything set up. And Andrew's doing a bunch of measurements. But it's a really cool house. And I don't want to like do a house tour until we really made it look nice. But I feel like there's so much to do. And there's I don't know, there's so much to do. There's so much to fix and clean and organize.
Yeah, people who lived here for a really long time. The family was here for like 70 years or something like that.
Well, yeah.
So there's a lot to go through and a lot of little nooks and crannies and oddities and a lot of changes we need to make. So
Yeah. Yeah, but it's a cool place. Like, it's in Jerusalem. Old style, very, very historic kind of place. Very just interesting style of house, interesting neighborhood. And there's a lot that we can do with the place. It just feels daunting because we just moved in. And I had a dream last night that I woke up and I was like a really old lady that was ugly. Like, I had a really ugly face and my hair was white.
I can't wait until you turn into an old lady. I would kiss you every day.
Andrew's like, I would love you. I would kiss your old lady face. Well, yesterday we were walking and we were moving our stuff, and Andrew was standing there like waiting for the moving guy, the minivan that was gonna help us move, and he's like standing there like looking out, waiting for the guy, and I see this like old lady come out of the building, and she's like, the first thing she sees is Andrew, and she's like, wow, is it yofi? And I told Andrew, and he's like, he half doesn't believe me. It's a thing here in Israel, like, because a lot of people are like Middle Eastern, and like all of my friends and family are like obsessed with how Andrew looks, even before they even get to know him. It's definitely a vibe thing. Ooh, almost got on an axe. What happened?
Car stop.
South of Jerusalem is like the cool place. That's like where all the cool kids hang out. And it's so different from like the north is, first of all, more religious, but also like the middle, like downtown Jerusalem is like it's like really intense and like, I don't know, like it feels just more touristy and intense, and like it's cool too. It's like really cool and historic. But south, like this area is just cool and modern. I think this is called Talpiot. I think that's the name of this area. I think my cousin used to live here.
We have. I came to send you next week. The house is soon. This is the maximum.
Shitting me! You just shot a javelin at a fucking car! That's an $80,000 piece of ordnance. Can any of you geniuses tell me the Kelly Blue Book value of a 1989 Toyota pickup? Rob Becker.
Well, yeah.
What's up, you guys? hopefully the sound is coming in okay. And I don't have a timestamp on this video because it's a redo, because there's so much going on, and there's so much I want to talk about with you guys, and I just felt like I didn't get everything out in this one that I did before. Like, I was so scatterbrained, and I'm still like that, but I'm a little bit more clear-headed today. I had a better sleep, having my coffee. It's not real, it's a decaf, but it's got like turmeric and cinnamon, and now I added nutmeg to the mix, and black pepper. So it's just very calming. Date syrup, calming, also just like lets digestion kind of go through easily, which, you know, I'm in my final month of pregnancy. It's really nice to have something that helps me go to the bathroom to digest everything faster and more easily. And also to breathe, like, you know, turmeric, especially if you have turmeric together with black pepper. What we've found, this is Andrew's research has found it, but then we started doing it, and I think it's actually really, I mean, I know it's really helping for many reasons, I know. So it's just, it helps you relax, helps you breathe, and it's not relaxing in the way that it does with drugs or alcohol. You know, it's not like as forceful instantaneously, but it is pretty instant, and it's light, and it's like little by little, the more you do it, kind of the more you see results. And I also have these. I can look out. It's just kind of fun, you know, sitting outside and like looking out at the neighbors, you know, with these binoculars. It's fun. And yeah, just there's so much I want to film. Like, we basically are in a new place like we always are. We're always moving, so we're in a new place now, and this place is a little different than anywhere we've ever stayed at, in that it's like a place where the person used to live in for a really long time before we came here. And the guy, unlike any other place we lived in, the guy didn't move out any of his stuff. At first we were like, oh man, what are we gonna do with all this guy's stuff? We're gonna have to like take care of it or like move it, like what are we gonna do? But having spent some time in this place, all his stuff, like he left everything, even like food and pills and like gifts and pictures and like everything. Like, this guy left everything behind. Maybe he was going through like a radical life change, but we've actually really been enjoying it. We didn't expect it this much. We've really been enjoying it. It's been really fun to use the things that he used while he was in this house. For example, like things that just make it so much more fun and bring this place to life. Like little knickknacks. I mean, this isn't a knickknack. This is actually a good quality set of binoculars. Furniture, you know, different like lamps. We found a Bluetooth speaker that works really well. A great Bluetooth speaker. I mean, I'm just off the top of my head using examples. Oh, kitchen appliances. There's so many things that I want to show you guys, but the kitchen is so messy right now. So, like, I'm embarrassed to film in the kitchen until I get some of this stuff cleared up. But there's amazing kitchen appliances that I'm really excited about, and I've already made a few desserts. I made, obviously, my hot chocolate soufflés, but I made it better now because I have an egg beater, but I have like multiple different types of egg beaters now, so I can make different types of chocolate souffles. I made yesterday, I made apple crumble, which was obviously apple crumble is very easy, so I could have done that in the old place. But today I'm making banana bread. And keep in mind that like we don't eat artificial sugars or flour. So everything I make is like with nut flour or like chickpea flour. It's like very low carb and no sugar. The sweeteners I use is either honey, which is it's natural sugar, so we use, and not just regular honey from the store. We get comb honey from the shook, so we get the hard stuff and then we melt it. And date syrup, which is 100% dates. It's just like dates crushed up into this syrup, which is really popular here in Israel. And the third thing for sweetener is agave. Sometimes sweetener is totally unnecessary. Like for example, with the banana flour, the banana bread that I'm going to make today, it doesn't even need sweetener because the bananas are sweet. It's just an example. If the noise isn't too crazy, I want to talk a little bit about the pregnancy stuff, identity crisis, preggo brain, and just what that's been like. I've talked about it a lot already in the past couple videos. They're doing construction here, so I'm gonna like splice out as much as I can. It's noise. Being pregnant can be really pleasant or really unpleasant depending on your attitude towards it, I think. That's what I'm realizing is like there's a lot that changes in your body when you are pregnant, obviously. And you can either fight it or you can make the most of it and learn to actually enjoy it and benefit from it a lot. Like, I think that being pregnant has made me very healthy, for example. Very healthy because it's like kind of forced me to do things that I wouldn't normally do. It's forced me to slow down, to sleep more. It's also like forced me to be more sensitive to things. For example, if I have sugar, normally, you know, everybody gets like a sugar high when they have sugar and they get restless. When you're pregnant, it's like that times 10. Everything that you eat, it just like pushes you over the edge. So it's like changed my lifestyle to the point where the things that are not good for me, I know it's so much faster because I'm pregnant and I'm more sensitive. So like my lifestyle has become so much healthier because I'm just so much more sensitive to the things that are good or bad. And the things that are good, I eat so much more because like I feel the effects so much more instantly. So if that makes sense, you know, in that regard, pregnancy has, and then, you know, it's like it's just made me so much more attuned to my body in general. So I know exactly what is going on, and people associate pain and discomfort, sensitivity with a bad thing, which I always have associated it with a bad thing because you're like, oh, like I wish I could just be a robot and not feel things and just go through life and do what I need to do without any thought as to like how it, like any limitations basically, and the limitations being the pain and discomfort. But you know, ultimately the pain and discomfort are not limitations, they're just communications. They're just your body's communications to help you live longer basically. You know, this is painful for us, this is gonna make us, this is not good for us, this is good for us, whatever, you know. Another thing is like I struggle with overthinking. Obviously a lot of women do, a lot of people do, struggling with overthinking and just like obsessing too much, thinking too much into every little thing. When you're pregnant, it like slows your brain down. So you actually can't overthink the way that you used to. Your thoughts end at like a certain point, and I already talked about this. So you become like, you know, people say dumber. You know, what is dumb anyway? In a society where like everybody's overthinking and everybody has ADHD or short attention spans or whatever you want to call it, like everyone's moving really fast, like their brains are at the wavelength of like a TikTok video, like that's how fast their brains are moving. There's like not a lot of focus or presence of mind, so it just looks dumber to those people when you have more focus and you're able to like take time, actually be with yourself and with your thoughts. But that's what pregnancy brain does. It actually does shrink your brain. They say it shrinks your brain by like 40% or something. So yeah, I'm already forgetting what the percentage was. Maybe not 40%, maybe like 10% or 20, I don't know. But it shrinks your brain by a percentage that I don't remember. You are not able to think about things the way that you used to. I joked on Twitter that being pregnant, especially as you approach the birth, like in your last trimester, it's basically being pregnant is like taking 10 THC gummies, getting on a treadmill that's really fast, like a really fast treadmill, and trying to like keep up, and then at the same time, and also being double your weight, and then at the same time trying to have a conversation, a really deep philosophical conversation with someone while you're doing that, and they're like talking really fast. Like that's what pregnancy feels like, especially as you progress. And a couple of my friends are pregnant now, which is really cool, like really close, dear friends, you know, they're either pregnant or they're expecting, they're you know, Pardes pregnant. And it's just really cool and interesting to see the changes that happens in other people too. It really causes you to think slower and be more present with yourself, which is really great for your longevity. But from the outside, oftentimes it looks like people are becoming more disheveled as they become pregnant. And from the outside, you know, if you're not pregnant and you're kind of like watching a pregnant person's going through their brain changes, it does look like they're becoming dumber, and it looks like they're becoming more disheveled and maybe uglier, you know, because beauty standards for being pregnant is different than the standard for being not pregnant. When you're pregnant, your body stores more fat. Like even if I'm not, I actually don't eat like anything unhealthy. Like I don't eat people are like, oh, I eat more Kit Kats and candy when I'm pregnant because I can eat whatever I want. I don't eat whatever I want. I don't eat bread. Like I really don't eat bread. Not because I'm trying to lose weight, but because it's not the kind of energy that sustains me. I eat more expensive energy. I eat quinoa, I eat like ton of nuts, nut flour, nuts, walnuts. I don't know, I eat like lots of meat, vegetables, fruits. So these things are more expensive than just like sugar and flour. You know, sugar and flour is cheap. But still, if you notice, like I still have fat buildup, natural healthy fats build up, but it's still fat. And you know, I still have fat buildup around my body and my thighs and my arms, and it takes a little bit of like being open-minded to look at that and not think that it's ugly or disheveled. You know, it takes being open-minded and expanding your idea of what beauty is. Beauty is not that everybody looks like a 12-year-old boy, like a skinny 12-year-old boy. Beauty is different in different stages in your life. And so it's really easy to look at someone who's, you know, pregnant and think that they're miserable, and they might actually be miserable in some ways, but it's very different. Like I would still much rather be in this stage than not be. So the thing that I've been struggling with the most is an identity crisis, a personal identity crisis, where I'm realizing that there's so much that I was able to do before that I cannot do anymore now. And it goes beyond just like physical stuff. It's like I'm unable to keep up my relationships. There's commitments I've made, and there's relationships, close relationships that mean a lot to me. Like really, really, really a lot. I'm just not really able to keep up with them for a variety of reasons. My brain is not able to move as fast and on the frequency that it did before. So the frequency that my brain is moving on is different now. So a lot of the same conversations that I was able to have before, that I was able to enjoy, I'm just not able to enjoy them or be able to contribute as much. Now I feel like I'm struggling to keep up conversation-wise with a lot of people that I conversed with in the past. Another thing is topics of interest. I feel like I'm not really interested in the things that I was interested in before being pregnant. And yeah, you know, we all change throughout our lives, and I've been changing a crazy amount the past few years, but being pregnant has been that on steroids, where I'm like, I really can't care about the things that I cared about even just a couple months ago, because my brain is like on a totally different frequency. And it makes me feel bad, because I feel like I've maybe invested X amount of time into making, for example, a type of content that is about those things that I cared about, or style that is worked in the way that it was before, and all of a sudden I just don't care about that. It doesn't resonate with me anymore. And now it feels like I have to start from scratch with how I want to communicate with people, kind of what I want to do, how I want to live my life. I feel like pressed for time a lot. I feel like even just like going up the stairs makes me pant. I get out of breath. I get so tired from every little thing. I get so tired from just a conversation with like any family member. One conversation in one day can knock me out for the whole day. And I wasn't like that. I mean, I used to be like communicating with like 100 people in a day. Like I would communicate a lot. That was like my whole thing. And now it's like one conversation can like literally knock me out and have me sitting on the couch and like panting and drinking turmeric lattes and relaxing. So it just feels like really hard to get used to, and I feel like I'm having to really adjust the way that I see myself. You know, I also see, like, last night I had a little bit of a meltdown, and Andrew was talking me through it, where I just felt like, is this gonna be my life? And then a baby is gonna come, and then the baby, which I'm really excited about, I'm so excited, all I wanna do is think about her. Am I gonna become like one of these ladies that like their whole life revolves around their baby? I mean, I wanna be more, right? Everybody wants to be, we just wanna be like more. We wanna be validated, we wanna be special, we wanna, you know, we wanna have our egos. We don't wanna just survive and just eat, sleep, poop, you know? Like, we want to have things that we care about. We want to have our creative pursuits. Like, I'm too tired to come up with music, with piano music, even though that's something I've been wanting to do for a while. And we have 2 pianos now. I'm too tired. I don't have the energy. And then, like, am I going to be one of these ladies that's just, like, all her whole life is just her baby? And then, like, besides that, and then become like this overbearing like mom that like all she can think about is like the babies, and then also just like cooking and cleaning. If that, you know, some people, like, you know, they're just so overwhelmed by the one thing that they just can't do the other things. It's a lot. Meanwhile, I'm looking online, or I'm talking to people, talking to my sister, like, they're doing a lot of things. They're having full-time jobs. They're also a mom, and they're like doing household stuff, and it's like, whoa, like, I feel like I barely have the energy for one thing. So it's just really an identity crisis. Like, who am I? What's my worth? What's my significance? Obviously, you shouldn't be tying your worth to any of these things, because you have different stages in life and different phases of what you should or shouldn't be doing in that phase. But nonetheless, my mind is gonna go there. I found that it really helped to cry to Andrew about it. Crying is always great. I've been crying a lot, even more now that I'm pregnant. So just crying really helps to let it out, talk about it, process it, and then went to sleep. And I went to sleep, and this morning I woke up and I felt amazing. I felt like, there's nothing I can't do. I can do anything. That's really how I felt waking up. And it was like, you know, I put some coffee for myself, I put for Andrew. So I have to make the rest of the video in here because it's just so loud outside because of the construction, and it's very distracting. But this morning was really good. I woke up, felt myself, felt alive, even more myself. And, you know, when it's good, it's really good. You know, I still am kind of like in the air about what next? How, you know, what direction do my vlogs go in? I don't feel like talking about a lot of things that I used to talk about. I've always struggled with my identity on these vlogs, but just being able to come and talk to you guys about stuff has been really cool. Just whatever's going on. So I've just accepted that it's basically going to be my diary, always. It's, you know, no matter what I'm going through, even if I don't have so much to say, it's always going to be like my diary. Even if I just want to come on here and just sip coffee and stare at the camera screen, because that's what I have to say. When you're going through so much changes, like, it's always going to be really hard to keep up your feeling of your identity. Who am I? What am I? You know? Also, as you get older, like, you just stop caring about the things that you used to care about as much. So I just don't care about, you know, maybe like a year or 2 years ago, I was really on the whole, I want to help people financially, help people get squared away financially, become free. And I still care about that. And that's my book, House Hackers Anonymous, you know, become financially free. You know, it's not just about making a lot of money, but making your money work for you, you know, being able to live on your terms, live a diversified lifestyle, go where you want, travel how you want, be safe from economic recessions and whatever inflation's happening in the place that you're in. So House Hackers Anonymous, I mean, I love that book. I love that book. I wrote it as my baby, and I highly recommend it. It got me to where I am now, to be able to be at this place. Now I don't really care about helping people become financially free. I don't care about it. It's like, meh, it's just a side thing for me now. I want to help people be financially free, but it's just not as much of a priority in my brain anymore, because I feel like I scratched that itch already. I feel, you know, I used to complain that there's two types of people that will tell you that money doesn't matter. It's the kind of people that are either lying to themselves, or that for them, really, money doesn't matter. money isn't everything. And then it's like the person who's saying money isn't everything is like so wealthy that money really isn't everything for them. They have other things they need to worry about. So really, that's how it is. When you get to a level that you actually feel financially okay and safe, and it doesn't happen overnight. It takes a few years for your body to get used to it, but more and more that my body is feeling safe, and I'm getting used to the idea that money isn't everything. I really feel that. I really feel that money isn't everything, and I feel like I can go on these vlogs and not really care about financial implication of things. And first of all, it's really cool that my body can do that, because I've been in survival mode for so long, and I still have survival mode in my body. I still get freaked out whenever we make a big purchase or do anything that feels like it might lock us in financially, you know. Signing a lease, always scary. Doesn't matter what it is, how we're doing it. It's always going to be scary. This stuff is always going to have some kind of effect on me, but less and less as the years go on, and I feel safer. So that's part of the identity crisis too. Is like I don't really know what I want to focus my energy on if it's not helping people become more financially stable. And again, like the irony is like the more you care about it, or the safer you become financially and better your life gets, the less you care about it. And it's like I can be like a finance influencer, like I can be like, I don't know, Iman Gadzi, or like, you know, these kids that became really rich at a really young age, and they just, all they talk about is like, you know, make money. You know, Cody Sanchez or whatever. She's not a kid, she's older, and it's really good stuff, really good advice. Alex and Layla Hormozi. But I can confidently say, I'm sure those people are so tired of their own content sometimes, because when you do actually become financially stable for a long enough period of time, you just don't care. You have other problems or issues that you want to think about more. Like for me, it's like I want to think more about art. And that was my goal. My goal was to get to this place where I don't care about money as much and I think about art more. But like now that I don't care about money as much, it like bothers me to be talking about stuff that I would talk about in HHA, you know? Like we were somewhere yesterday, and the guy was talking about his like accounting issues or whatever, or like, you know, he doesn't know how much money he'll get back from the US government, you know, because he lives in Israel, but he works in the States. He works remotely, or like he works for a company that's based in the States, but he lives in Israel. And so Andrew was like, oh, you should talk to Pardes. She talks about the foreigner income exclusion, which is a lot of finance and nomad YouTubers talk about this. It's basically like where if you live for 11 months or more in another country, that's not in the States, but you're a US citizen, you don't have to pay taxes up to like maybe 130 grand a year. You don't have to pay taxes because you live in another country. And he was like, and I realized that I really didn't feel like, I like talking about it, but I don't love talking about it anymore. You know, it's just like, oh yeah, I could tell you about it. I could tell you about the stuff that's in my book, but I don't feel like I identify with it anymore, if that makes sense. And like, while I still, you know, I've got my Amazon advertising on for my book, go read the book, the print, go listen to the audiobook. It's in my own voice, and it's very close to my heart. It's my baby. But it's just not my entire focus now. And that it's hard. It's hard for something it's hard to like have cared about something so much, and it's like your whole life, and now you don't care about it so much anymore. You care about other things at the same time, basically. And you're just like, well, what is my identity? Who am I? What kind of YouTuber am I? Am I a finance YouTuber? am I an artist? Like, you know, my art, it just, I want to be an artist now. I want to make good music. I want to like sing. I want to sing. And the other thing about singing is that it's just so much fun. And I've been singing. Sometimes I'm in the shower and I look at my belly and I watch my belly kicking, or I'm taking a bath and I sing to it. It's my belly. It's my baby. It's like my actual baby, and I'm singing to her. And I just wonder how she feels when I sing to her. And I see her like moving up and down. Either she's saying, yes, this is great, or she's saying, get me out of here. That's how I always see it. Is I wonder how she feels when I sing to her. And it's just, I just see it as something that I could keep doing even as a mom. And I mean, I didn't want to be an artist because that's the only thing you could do as a mom type of thing. Like, I wanted to be an artist anyway. And then it's like, wow, it's so cool that as an artist, you could actually do it together with having kids. You could have a lot of fun having kids actually as an artist. So, but at the same time, I don't feel like I'm ready at the level of artist, you know? Like, I feel embarrassed to share and showcase my stuff, or to play it in front of other people, or to do it. I feel scattered as to like the kinds of art that I want to focus on. Like, cooking is an art, so that's like easy. That's something that once I clear up my kitchen, I'll want to show you guys a lot more of like the cooking, baking stuff that I do. For example, today, banana bread. Very excited to try that. There's so many desserts, cheesecakes and coffee cakes and orange pudding and all these things that I want to try. Like, so many things. The list of things that I want to try is endless. And I'm only doing like one dessert maximum per day, because obviously it's just, I get so tired. But then there's also like foods. I want to make smoothies. I want to make we just have so many more tools to deal with, to use. And honestly, I don't love the delivery system in Israel. There is a delivery app, but it's like, third world countries are better. Like in Colombia, you get your deliveries within minutes, and you can you have so many more options of things to shop, and it comes within minutes. Because the thing about deliveries and stuff that you want to do in Western countries is like, obviously it's so much more expensive, but also like there's like, union labor laws, in those countries, which there aren't in third world countries. So in third world countries, it's kind of like people can do a job if they want to. They don't have to. It's more free in that regard, and you have less, like, oh no, like, don't exploit people. Exploiting is doing things without someone's consent. Like taking advantage of people without their, manipulating them. But if you are offering something and another person wants to take it, like, just because you wouldn't do the job yourself, it doesn't mean that it doesn't fit with their life. And I think Westerners have a hard time understanding this because they're too effing closed-minded. And it just drives me crazy. So Israel has that too, where people are like, oh, don't exploit. Israel's a Western country. Really, it is. Mostly Americans and other European types. And there's a lot of Middle Eastern people, but so it gives it that flavor. But anyways, like, I just don't like it. I can't stand it. And there's a lot of religious people too. There's all kinds of people in Israel. It's definitely more mixed than let's say, typical city in the States, but it's still got that whole Western thing going on, which doesn't make for good deliveries, doesn't make for good products. Really high taxes, you know, a really big welfare system. A lot of people are just living on welfare, whatever, you know, I don't like that. So anyways, this is kind of going on a tangent. I don't know why I went on this tangent. So I was just talking about cooking and getting deliveries and all that stuff. So it just gets easier. The more stuff there is, the more stuff there is to work with, the easier it gets to like focus on these things. And another thing I want to focus on eventually, which I don't know if I'll be able to do it. 2 more things I want to do. I want to sew, which I talked about before. I want to sew my own clothes, I want to sew things for us, for the house, whatever. There's a lot of fabric stores on Yafo. Very easy to go to Yafo, which is like a really main central downtown street in Jerusalem. You can go to Yafo, buy fabrics, and then we have a sewing machine here. You can make stuff for fun, and I really would enjoy it. And the other thing is just painting and art, the color, just painting. So those are the few things: cooking, music, sewing, and painting. I feel like the easiest, like lowest hanging fruit for me right now is cooking and music, because like even when I have a baby, I'm gonna have like, you know, baby strapped to my body, and I'll be able to play music easily and sing for her while she's on me. You know, I could even do that while I'm breastfeeding. You know, you can sit at a piano. You know, put one of those like breastfeeding pillows, which my sister-in-law gave me, breastfeeding pillow. Have the baby leaning on the breastfeeding pillow, and then you just play your music, play piano, sing, whatever. And it's not like a separate thing that you're doing. Like, it's not like, oh no, I have to breastfeed and I have to do this. It's like, you can do this stuff. I can vlog while I'm breastfeeding. I can, you know, so it's just happens to be that some of the things that I really enjoy also seem to really go well with motherhood. It's not like you're having to compromise on any of it, and that's really cool. I think Andrew might be waking up, so I put some coffee for him, but I just didn't put the hot water, so that he can, when he wakes up, he can have coffee. It can still be hot. So I'm gonna go put on some hot water now and sit with him a little bit while he has his coffee. And I'll see you guys later. And I also just really wanna apologize to anyone that, like, my communication's been really slow, including family members that watch my vlogs, family, friends. I really, really do actually hope that my energy levels go back up and I'm like much faster and like more with it. But also, like, part of me is like trying to let go and stop fighting what's happening with me, which is just that I'm gonna be slow for a little bit. And I don't think I'll take a legit break from these vlogs because I don't have a job. So like this does take very little energy, these vlogs, especially because I've developed like a system for them. I think I'm able to do the vlogs even with the editing, but the communication might be a little harder. Interfacing with other people is harder. See you guys later. This is my view outside. And this is my view inside. These are the earrings that my friend got me. And they match really well with my new jean jacket.